One thing I normally tell people when it comes to stuff like game consoles and rumors is don't believe everything you read. Now, this rumor by some random person who didn't even cite his source blew up all over Twitter about how the new 3DS won't have region locking and how there are going to be big Nintendo Network ID changes incoming. Now, let's be honest here. This is something people have requested, and this would have been a great thing had this actually been true and not some rumor made up by some random person on Twitter that somehow managed to get tons of favorites and retweets. Nintendo confirmed to the gaming media that the new 3DS will still indeed be region locked. Just like the old 3DS, just like the 2DS, just like the DSi, just like nearly every Nintendo console ever made. So keep in mind, even though there have been thousands of signatures on petitions by people wanting Nintendo to change the region locking, even though people have hoped that they were going to change the region locking, even though people were hoping that they could finally import games that keep getting delayed in Europe or North America, guess what? The 3DS is still region locked. So any of you who want to play Shin Megami Tensei 4 and you say live in Europe, you're going to have to wait because that game just got delayed again. And unless you have the money to throw at an imported 3DS, you're going to have to keep waiting. And keep in mind, if you're expecting Nintendo to change the region locking anytime soon, just remember, Iwata defends region locking. So keep in mind, Nintendo is trying to keep using something that Sony stopped using with the PlayStation 3, PlayStation Portable, and keep in mind the Vita and PS4 are both region free. They're trying to defend something Microsoft abandoned with the Xbox One, because keep in mind Microsoft announced that the Xbox One is going to be region free, and so far it has been with regards to physical games. And yet Nintendo, their new 3DS is still going to be region locked. The 3DS is region locked. The DSi is region locked. And any console before the DSi was region free. What does this say about Nintendo? Trying to tell you that you can't play a game you legally purchased on your own hardware because your own hardware is not a Japanese version. Now, if you have 9 3DSs, this probably won't be a problem. So let's just say you're like me and you only own one 3DS. What will you have to do to play Japanese games? You'll still have to pre-order the all-new 3DS, the Japanese one, or buy a Japanese normal 3DS. And of course, this is just so you can play a game that was released in Japan that you paid with your own money. Because apparently Nintendo does not want you to play games that you spent your real hard-earned money on unless you own another 3DS system for that region. See how silly region locking sounds when both Sony and Microsoft have ditched it and Nintendo's CEO is defending it? I mean, keep in mind, this is the company that blocked devices that would let you play imported games on the Wii. What does this say about Nintendo? All it says is that they don't give a damn about the consumer, despite how much people on the internet and other people I've seen try to make them like they're the saviors of gaming. That's just not true. But at the same time, maybe Nintendo should have listened to their fans when it came to that stuff. I mean, fans have been asking for the region lock to be removed for a while, and yet they haven't listened. I mean, when it gets to the point where people have to post their personal fan fiction about a company they like as a rumor, that just says something about Nintendo. They need to step their game up. They really do. Maybe they need to listen to the consumers. And the last thing I thought I might as well say, at the same time though, you should always take rumors with a grain of salt, especially if they come from a random person with no credibility whatsoever on Twitter. Because after all, buying 9 3DSs or 30 to 40 copies of Xenoblade or whatever does not make you the number one fan or an authoritative source for information. That's all I have to say on this. Thanks for watching and subscribe for more.